I'll just start with this poem, who's about a local friend who lives around here. Okay. I am P, and God loves me. I wander around Howth, and people give me tea. I know the safe houses, the homes where I can go in and be of help to the nice people. Remind them to do their green bin. My mammy's up in heaven. She's looking after me too. Nicky brings me to knock, singing on the bus. Just rolling, not thinking, like water. Sometimes no one answers when I knock. I'm special. And the word with that I got is, for we entertain angels unaware, never knowing the true spirit hidden there. That's from Hebrews. Yep, we sure do. Blessings are in disguise often our greatest disappointments. And the aching of this life is a revealing of a deeper thirst this world can satisfy. What if trials of this life, the rain, the snow, the hardest nights, are your mercies in disguise? And that's not my song. I just thought it's lovely because if only we could see our own suffering and what it's doing to us. You know, we all have different sandpaper because we're all being chiseled and carved into the potter's hand. Sometimes we don't understand that. But if only we could see what it's doing to us spiritually and how it's helping us to grow or to stay humble or whatever else, or to be built up, whatever it is we need. But it will come to us when we're searching. There's that poem I have. I think I have it written down. Because sometimes all we notice are the little smashed, broken bits. And we don't see the bigger picture. So on that note, I'm going to find my poem, Stained Glass. Now glass, first sand, blown into existence through heat, breath, sound. Apart we feel useless, jagged little shards of glass, shattered dreams, stained blue, longing to be washed clean, crystal clear, see-through. We cannot see the bigger picture. If only we knew the work of art God had in mind when he made me and you. And the word with that is, now we see in a mirror dimly, but then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known by God. And that's from Corinthians. And I've just noticed that recently when I get little poems, they often get a little word with them, which is a nice little extra. So here's another poem I wrote. This is about me. 4 angels. I have always been between 2 worlds, life and death, haunted by ghosts of my past, my loved ones, so far away like a different life, when summers were golder and I sat on my mother's knee, or watched my auntie brushing Oma's long white hair. Then turbulence, despair. Job to country, didn't matter, not belonging anywhere. Then the 4 angels, every one with golden hair. Before I ever knew it, the answers to my prayer. Before I knew it was a prayer. God was always there. Not in any building, as that tramp once said. I was searching desperately for answers in my head. They weren't there, only in my heart, not too weary to love. Just in them, in everyone and everywhere. Still drawn to the margins, the lost souls everywhere. The light in me stronger than the fear around. I have a deep need to show them a way out, to never give up. How quickly life can turn us around. And that is true. The tramp said he's not in any building. He's with you all the time. So, And it's good to remember that. And my heroes are people like Connie ten Boom, who was in the concentration camp. And yeah, she said there's no pit so deep. There is no pit so deep that the Lord cannot descend, said Connie ten Boom when she was at the end. Just lost her sister, her very best friend, saying to her Nazi guard, "I forgive you, brother," even though she hated his sins, which only God could cover. And cover them he did, for he is faithful and true. He forgives all who turn from him, no matter what we do. So let's remember, Corrie, when our cup is not overflowing, it's only by giving and forgiving again that our own love keeps on growing. Now, what does he went up mean? It means first he went into the depths of the earth. So he knew all about suffering, much more than we can ever do. So that's why we're supposed to see it as a blessing if we're being taunted or in any way persecuted for his name's sake, because then we're taking part in his sufferings, even though that's difficult for us to understand. And my other hero is Horatio Stafford, who he lost his son in a fever. There was a big fire, he lost his business, and then his 4 girls drowned. And his wife sent him a telegram saying, "Saved alone." And he wrote that song, when peace like a river is flowing, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. The ability to give praise despite the circumstances is really amazing. So that's why these people are my heroes, even though we barely hear about them today. Maybe there's a little hero in all of us, even if it doesn't feel like it at the time. It's only when we look back and we see the pits we've been in, we can say, I didn't know how lost I was until I found you. And here's a poem about that experience in my own life. My Gethsemane. Will her eyebrows grow back? We asked anxiously, as we stood at her bedside, my sister and me. That's the least of your worries, nurse warned ominously. And if we'd known then how sad it would be to lose faith in the world or each other when in need. If she said your grief will be so profound, you'll lose your bearings, your compass, your ground. Traumatized, unable to give, you'll sometimes lose your will to live. As you gradually change your hearts to stone, as you learn how to face each milestone alone. Then the joy of our babies, thank God, but what pain of having no grandmother. What words could explain what it felt like for us, the despair inside. We learnt it through her drinking, but lived it when she died. How lonely life would often be. My heart still breaks with sympathy when I remember us back then, my brother, sister and me. And the word with that is, Father, take this cup away from me, but not my will, but thine be done. And how hard it is to sometimes really mean that. I mean it with all our soul. And I wrote a poem because I had some other very heart-wrenching experiences with my own children. And once I fell on my face in Temple Street and begged God not to take Juju, my little child. And I don't think I could have handled that because my mother's loss was unbearable enough. So when we were on holiday, Peter wrote a little prayer in the church. Dear Lord, may we never forget to praise you. I thought that was a beautiful prayer because after all we've been through and all the many mistakes I repeated and few of my own, God has restored in full measure. So that's just where I am and what I try to express with this poetry. That he's a God of second chances and he restores hope. I think I have a poem about hope. Is there time? Yeah. Hope. A butterfly opens its wings in Damascus, then flies away. A little boy looks on and smiles for the first time since his daddy passed away. A soldier looks on and feels heartsore. That night he prays. Someone in America prays for them, and someone hears what they say. Hopes and visions float around this world, waiting to descend. Jesus knocking at every heart until the bitter end. So, and there was a word with that. Be patient in hope, joyful in affliction, and something I can't remember, but enduring. Anyway, on that note, wish you all peace. Goodbye. Shalom. And we're all creative, so just whatever way you find to be creative, whether it's gardening or cooking or a poem or a song, just express yourself. And you never know, you might make somebody's day. And that's what we're here for, bear each other's loads. So, bye-bye. Shalom.